My name is I'm not First Lieutenant anymore. My name is Captain Jones. I've been in CP for about 4 years, and I went through the WAFA course, Wilderness Advanced First Aid, here at WESS.
Hi, I'm First Lieutenant Grace Carnes from North Carolina.
I'm Major Harvey Yarber with Civil Air Patrol. I'm the Emergency Services Director for the Alabama Wing, and we're at the WESS facility. That's our Wing Emergency Services School. We offer it every winter for 5 weekends. We train 7 different curriculums of emergency services teams, from basic ground team to advanced ground team to air crew and the Wilderness First Aid team.
WAFA stands for Wilderness Advanced First Aid, and the purpose of it, the reason we teach it here at the Search and Rescue School, is so when people go out, when CAP members go out for search and rescue activities, we want them to have a little more advanced first aid training in the wilderness, so they can help either if the CAP members get injured, if a ground team member gets injured, or if they find a victim out on scene, they know the proper way to treat people with good, high-quality first aid.
WAFA is a first aid class that advances first aid a little bit to the level of being able to work with people out in the wilderness where you may be several days from care.
Basically, in WAFA, they teach you how to become a little bit more than the basic first aid that you get from becoming a GTM3. It expands a lot on some of the trauma and also bleeding control that you need for possibly if you're ever in an accident, or someone else, you may be on the road traveling, someone else may be in an accident. There are very many things that you learn from WAFA that will also correlate into other places of your life.
The Wilderness First Aid team is kind of special because what we have on it is we teach advanced first aid for immediate treatment, and it's really nice to have those embedded into our other ground teams, so that if one of our people got hurt, we've got somebody that can administer basic first aid. They're not medical people, they are just individuals that have been trained with advanced first aid skills. And so they can actually start first aid before an emergency worker can even get on site.
Okay, a few things, trauma, so like if someone broke an arm, or if they had a deep cut in the arm or the leg, whatever it may be, how to pack that, how to splint it, and get them ready for transport to a medical facility.
So it's really an added safety that we have capabilities for training. And the wilderness first aid training, we've had pilots that came and signed up for wilderness first aid training because they said if we crash in the woods, we want to know how to take care of ourselves until help comes. And so it's a survival skill that most of us just don't have. And I think the curriculum cost $80, I think, for certification for the WAFA. I believe that's what it is for the WAFA school.
It goes a little bit more in depth with the first aid, so that you're able to take care of someone for a little longer period of time when you don't have medical care available immediately. I feel like some cadets are ready to kind of branch out and do a little bit more, that they're capable of taking care of more complex problems, and that when you're going somewhere like encampment or out on a hike, that the cadets can be helpful in helping with medical care during that time. I do know of one instance in North Carolina where a cadet got the life-saving award awarded to him actually last month for a wreck that he happened on in January, where he used his skills that he had learned in WAFA to help stabilize that patient until EMS got there. And while it wasn't a wilderness setting where they were days from care, his increased knowledge helped him get through that situation.
We had one cadet activity where we had an overnight thing, and one of the cadets was injured, and one of our people just jumped right in and and kept everybody away from it, and took immediate first aid to the cadet and just took charge of the scene. But the WAFA training, I think, starts at a little older age, maybe 15. So we don't want to put them out in harm's way.
It's a 5-week course, or 5-weekend course. You go from October to March, and at the end you have to take an exam, and whether or not you pass the exam depends on whether or not you graduate. If you don't pass the exam, you still have the hours, but you have to pass the exam.
The benefits are the knowledge. You actually come away with a lot more knowledge of how to do advanced first aid, but also you're gonna have hands-on skills. You're gonna come away learning how to put someone properly on a backboard. You're gonna learn how to how to stop bleeding, how to dress a wound, all those type skills. We're going to teach a variety of skills, and this is more than just the basic first aid. It's not just a little 6-hour course. There's probably about 70 or 80 hours of instruction and training and practice where you actually become fairly knowledgeable about all aspects of first aid. The WAFA class is a great way if you're interested in really knowing first aid. We have paramedics and nurses, and sometimes we have a physician come by who can teach advanced concepts in first aid. So this is designed not to be a real basic course, but it's a much more advanced course where you're going to come away knowing first aid.
Yes, anyone who's interested in first aid, paramedic, first responder, anything military, a lot like that, it's a great starter course. It's close to first responder, but you're still lacking a few of the qualifications you have to become a first responder. So it's kind of one of those things. It's a good course, but it really doesn't give you any official qualifications. But it also gives you the experience, which is worth more than anything else.
You come away with a solid knowledge, we believe, of what to do, how to treat someone when they get injured, and what's going on inside the body when people pass out or when they get injured. What do you do? That's a big thing a lot of people don't understand, is what to do when an emergency happens. Well, our goal is to make sure that we have CAP members, either senior members or cadets, who have a solid knowledge of how to treat. So if you want to learn how to treat and really know first aid and how to help someone, come take our WAFA class here at the WESS. We'd love to have you.
What are you thinking? This is a good shot.
There are very many things that wasn't related into other places of your life. But I was there on scene, and I was able to help do some of the things I had to kind of help the situation.